Hello everybody, I'm Storm here, and today we're going to be starting up a new series playing Hearts of Iron 4 as Turkey. And we will be playing in the standard World War II era. No total conversion mods or anything in here. And we're going to be playing as Turkey for a couple of different reasons. One is that I wanted to kind of take advantage of the new-ish Battle for the Bosporus DLC that added a full custom focus tree for Turkey, as well as I think Greece and Bulgaria, I think, were included in that. I could be wrong on those, but I know definitely Turkey is one of the nations that got new focus trees in that DLC. It's kind of a small, just content DLC, nothing like really major. And also because I had played Turkey previously in Hearts of Iron 3, and actually I have a whole series about that on the channel. It's kind of one of my early series that I started on the channel, and I really enjoyed that particular series for a bunch of different reasons. And if you'd like to go see it, I mean, it's in the archive back there somewhere. And so I wanted to give Turkey a whirl in Hearts of Iron 4 and see what we can do here. All right, so I guess we'll just go ahead and dive right on in and get started. Take a look at what we've got on our hands here. Looks like we've got a few military units, but as is typical here, they are completely out of equipment in some instances. Yeah. That is a problem. Alright, one of the first things that I want to do is I want to head into here, take a look at what our templates are. Looks like this is a garrison unit. That's our standard infantry. That's a mountain infantry, which is going to be useful here. We got some cavalry. We got some light tanks. Alright, I need to change your symbol so that you're distinguishable from the standard infantry. Alright, good. Now, the garrison units, we are probably going to want to convert into full-strength infantry. So there's that. Alright. Well, let's get some units organized here. Let's get all of our standard infantry selected here. That's mountain. And those guys too. Alright. Let's create an army. That's 20 divisions. Alright, I think we'll just keep that the standard teal color. We're going to need a commander. Someone who is good with infantry. And has decent stats. Is that in Salazar? Lislar? I am probably not even going to attempt to pronounce some of these names, because I am just going to butcher them. But yeah, you. Alright, and then we're gonna have our mountain infantry. It looks like there's only three of those, it would seem. Alright, let's get you a commander as well. We'll go with you. You can take another ability or trait, but we don't have any command power, so I can't do anything there. Alright, that's good. Alright, next we're going to have our cavalry.
toparlanın.
Alright, cavalry. I think these may end up... I may end up actually keeping cavalry around. Is that the only cavalry we have? I think so. You are a cavalry officer. Good. And for armor,
Emirlerinizi bekliyorum.
it only looks like we have one. So let's go ahead and just add you in. Do I have any generals that have any experience commanding armor? The field marshal. I don't want to assign a field marshal to an army. Reckless. No. Doesn't look like we have anybody. Harsh leader. Desert fox. Movement in deserts. Hill fighter. Kamalist champion. I guess we'll go with, well, someone with good attack, I think, is what we want to go for. You, then.
Emriniz yok mu?
Now, how many garrison units do we have?
Dikkat! Harekete hazırım.
We have 5. Okay. For the moment, I'll leave them as garrisons. Someone with high defense. You are good. So then we have all... Those guys can be put underneath our field marshal. There we go. Excellent.
Harekete hazırım.
Alright, and I see no reason to move any troops around just yet. I really don't know what we're going to be doing. So we will leave them there. Alright, we need to do some research. Now, speaking of research, I do have one large mod installed, and that is the expanded research tree to 1960. So we have research all the way out to 1960 on pretty much everything here. So that should provide hopefully some increased life toward the later end of the campaign. Now, the one kind of downside here is it does remove some flavor from certain things, like some of the naming of the tank models and stuff like that, but I'm not that concerned about that. We have this whole set of jets. So yeah, this should be hopefully interesting. But first thing we need to do is basic machine tools. We need to do electromechanical engineering. Guided munitions. Oh. And some basic infantry equipment. Support weapons. We've got a long road ahead of ourselves there. Okay, now as far as focuses, I have kind of perused this focus tree, which is extensive. We're going to take the Montreux Convention. Now, the decision is going to be made in relatively quickly about what kind of direction we're going to be going. Are we going to go fascist? I believe the option here is to, like, return to the Ottoman Empire and return to the Sultan. Rejoin the Central Powers, press the Austro-Hungarian claim down this route, or we could join the Axis. I'm kind of leaning in those directions, but I haven't made a final decision, so I'll take suggestions as to what options we may be able to go. If you have any suggestions in that regard. I'm not thinking communist. So... yeah, I think... and I don't think we're going to be joining the Allies either. So not this section. So we've got this section, which is the German. Join the Axis. We've got this section, which is, I think, restoring the Ottoman Empire and the Central Powers. This is the Soviet, it looks like. And this... continue to prioritize the Balkan integrity. Not really sure what this is supposed to be about. Code ruling party is not communist, is not fascist. Interesting. Well, these are all mutually exclusive, so that's where decisions are going to have to get made. We also need to think about, improving our military, which is what this tree is about. So we're going to have to mix some of that in as well. All right. Civilian factories. Let's... get some more civilian factories, get some more military factories, and then some more civilian factories. Free dockyards, free military factories. Let's pour everything we've got into guns, because we need guns. Lots of guns. And convoys, and we only have one dockyard? Ooh. We're gonna have to do something about that. Yeah. Alright, we need some aluminum and some rubber. We could bring in some aluminum from Hungary. Bulgaria has some aluminum they can trade, but not a lot. Oh yeah, they do, don't they? I thought that was in Yugoslavia, but apparently it's not. Let's see. Speaking of Yugoslavia. Let's bring it in from Hungary for the time being. And we're also going to need some what? Some rubber as well. We will import some rubber from... import some from Brazil. How about that? Alright, just pause it for a sec. Let things run for just a minute. Okay. Oh, this is part of this whole mod. Okay. This is the first time I've ever used it. So, if By setting the timeline of the game in the 1960s, the ETT 1960 mod also extends the issue of the minor AI nations building copious amounts of military equipment and trading huge armies. This is a problem by the end of the 1940s, even more so in the 1950s and 60s, which have a significant impact on the game performance. Adds to production and recruitment limitations to those minor countries in order to ensure a playable game. Some countries like Brazil and Argentina, which had a reasonable industry but did not much care for conflicts abroad, until in the case of Brazil, for example, they were dragged into it, will have a limitation on recruitable manpower, while others, like El Salvador, will have both manpower and industry capped. I do remember, like, El Salvador has, like, a ridiculously huge army by the time you get into the later stages of the game. If you decide to impose these limitations called shackles, and the IA can be removed via decision. If you want to play with a minor nation, or you can play without them from the beginning for all countries, but it will most certainly adversely impact the game performance. Okay. I think it might be worth restraining the AI. Welcome to the Extended Tech Tree 1960 mod. This event activates a few things for major nations, air transport tech, and adds one research slot to the Soviet Union to ensure parity with the US as the game progresses in the 1950s and 60s. Consider checking our... Okay, yeah. Fine. Would you like to have extra resources based on the increased resources mod? If you wish, you can also have only half the extra resources. This was added to the mod to ensure that industrial production remained viable past the 1940s, when normally industry grinds to a halt for lack of resources to produce more modern equipment. The mid option is preferred to make sure that resources still remain relevant. Sure. We'll go with the half set. I don't know if that does anything for us. I didn't look at what my resources were. But that may have changed my trade. Don't know. No, it still seems like we need it. Alright. Disorganized armed forces. Fleet coordination, division speed, division organization, air accidents, chance, war support. That's something we're going to have to fix. Sectarian woes. Yes. We're going to have to deal with the Muslim traditionalists and the Kurds. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about them. We're missing equipment for support. Production for support equipment and light tanks. Support equipment and light tanks. I don't think I'm going to worry about those right now. We need guns. So I'm going to prioritize guns. I don't think there's any point in attempting to recruit anybody just yet. Because we don't even have enough manpower to fill our needs at the moment. Alright. Prospect for resources. Interesting. Kurdish resistance escalates. Anti-government efforts. The Kurdish issue is one that has dogged us since even before the Republic's forming. Although the issue has certainly only gotten worse since then, rampant nationalism and doomed attempts at nation building threaten to destroy the legacy of the War of Independence, and we cannot tolerate any scenario in which there is a free Kurdistan born from the rump of our own nation. Alright, well, we'll see if there's any options to deal with that. I think there probably should be. Alright, I'm also going to need to think about these. Adds 2 military factories. Construct the Sakmak line? Is that how you say that? Don't know. Utilizing our terrain, embrace military traditions, expand the naval bases, expand the air bases. Yes. Also gonna have a decision to make right away. Fully integrate. You can just trade all the free trade. Continue the policy of etatism. Current ruling party is non-aligned. Mutually exclusive with fully integrate bank. Current ruling party is non-aligned. Our current ruling party is non-aligned. Okay. Let's see. Infrastructure construction speed, military factory construction speed, civilian factory construction speed, dockyard construction speed. Stability plus 5%, or minister that gives us stability plus 5%, accuracy plus, or factory output plus 5%, ideology drift defense plus 25%, and civilian factory construction speed plus 5%. I think that's the way we're going to want to go. Yeah, we have resistance over here because of the Kurds. All right then. And there's just nothing I can really do about this at the moment. Initiate counter-fundamentalist operation. Does not complete a focus pivot to the past. Okay. Oh! Okay, so yeah, another thing that I forgot to mention is that I did enable basically randomized focuses and everything for all nations. So everything is going to be completely random. So we have no idea what's going to happen. I find that more interesting. Alright, so Germany is embroiled in a civil war. A sudden Wehrmacht coup, led by famed Field Marshal August von Mackensen, has triggered a civil war in Germany early this morning. Fascists, royalists, and Democrats alike have taken up arms against their former countrymen, and military units have been removed from the borders to see to the internal threat. The fascists, under orders of Hitler, have already vowed to destroy the nation rather than to see it fall to treasonous Germans. Alright, German Reich has declared war on the German Reich. Alright, we need to pause this up. Pause. Alright, so we have the German Civil War, which means they're attempting to remove Hitler. We'll see if that succeeds or not. United Kingdom loans and support. Stanley Baldwin has issued a statement explaining that the United Kingdom intends to support us in our goal of seizing back control over our own straits. Winning the support of the United Kingdom is a great victory for us and does much to bolster our legitimacy across the world. And the Soviet Union opposes our remilitarization of the straits. Officials representing the Soviet Union have stated in very clear terms that they find our unilateral seizing of the Turkish Straits to be unlawful, and that they intend to take extreme measures to reverse our decision. Despite being pressed by our diplomats, the Soviet officials refuse to rule out a military intervention in Turkey to enforce their will. Maintaining the current status quo is unthinkable, and even the Soviet Union must surely understand this. So we offer a compromise solution that offers free access to all the countries of the Black Sea. Then the Soviet Union will have no choice but to accept our offer, unless they wish to become the pariah of the world. I am nowhere near ready for war with the Soviet Union. We'll offer them the compromise. Soviet Union and all the other nations that share a coast in the Black Sea shall retain their privileges of free access through the Turkish Straits. That's fine. Alright, we've remilitarized the Turkish Straits. Turkey and the Soviet Union have come to an agreement on revising the Treaty of Lausanne, which was signed and implemented after the nascent Republic of Turkey repulsed the Entente in the Turkish War of Independence. The treaty has long been declared an assault on Turkish sovereignty, but today the treaty was finally amended in favor of the newly legalized Montreux Convention. Turkey now has complete control over traffic that passes in and out of the Turkish Straits, and the states around the straits have now been remilitarized by Turkey. British observers who were part of the process are merely satisfied that conflict in the region has been avoided. Alright, so that means we need a new focus, and we're going to be continue that. And I do need... mechanizing the army. Mountain infantry. No, we're mechanizing. We're gonna go down that route. 35 days, 35 days, 35 days, 70 days. We might focus that down. Just so we can get those extra factories. I can modify the government. And then I can get some materials designers. Mechanical engineering. Oh. We're gonna grab mechanical computing. Get that done. I want to hold on to my political power. Alright, that failed. Turkish rebels are once again intensifying their anti-government. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that right now. Alright, good. Good. Now, we are going to need to acquire some territory. I don't know if any of this stuff gives me... I think this is all stuff for just at home. This is where we start getting into things that we can do outside. Alright, Ethiopia was annexed. Yeah. Align Bulgaria. Turkey demands our subjugation. This is interesting to me. But we shall see. And I think this is a good spot to go ahead. Initiate counter-fundamentalist operation. 85% chance the traditionalists will cooperate more with the government in Malatya. It's an option. Okay. It looks like the Kurd issue is not a thing anymore. Alright. At least it's not in the list. Alright. But I think we'll go ahead and stop here for now. Then we'll see how things progress from here. We need to get those guns. That is, that's a thing. Alright. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.